मैं ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹਰਜਾਪ ਤੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਮੰਡੇ 7 ਵਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ NRIਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਹੈਗੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਫੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ So let's talk with Harjap.
Salam Sat Sri Akal ji and welcome to the show. Just on thanu pata today we don't talk about immigration, just community issues de bare gal karte. We talk about community issues and we talk to guests who can teach us something and people we can learn from and about issues which affect us, our children and in daily life. And today aj vi idda da issue hega and that's recently I was watching a film tusi vi shayad dekhi honi called Dangal in which Sara ne like it as Amir Khan's film where these two girls and they do wrestling for India and you know it's about women empowerment and or jit ke on there and similar to films as in Chak De India we've watched that. So Indians in sport but in khas taur te British Asians in sport is today's topic. Okay, what are British Asians doing in sport and khas taur te in the area of football? Now my two guests today, they've come to talk about it and one is Harman who's here, who's actually a futsal player we're going to talk about, and his coach Joe Joginder Lidder. So Sat Sri Akal, welcome to the show.
Sat Sri Akal.
Harman, tell us what you play. You don't play football, you play something called futsal, right?
Yeah, I play futsal, which is a five-a-side game, which is like football, but in its own respect is a completely different sport.
Right.
And the main rules that I can give you is that it's a smaller goal.
Yeah.
It's 5v5.
Yeah.
The ball's heavier.
Yeah.
A bit smaller in size.
Yeah.
And keeper can only have the ball once. That's the main rules you have in futsal.
How popular is futsal? Because how come a lot of people at home thinking, I've never heard of futsal?
In England, futsal is actually well less known as football.
No.
But if you go to somewhere like Brazil or Portugal,
yeah,
the numbers there are outstanding. Like futsal is more famous in those countries than football is.
Wow.
And it makes a big difference. And for example, I didn't even know what futsal was up until 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you start off with your interest in sports? Was it, I mean, at a young age, did you start off with football or cricket? Or did you know, because all Asians play cricket, right? So we all play cricket. Or did you, was football something your parents geared you towards, something you wanted to do?
For me, at a young age, I really loved football. And my mum and dad knew that. And that was when they wanted to start looking for coaches for me to join a team.
Right.
And that was when I met Uncle Joginder. And he did everything for me as a football coach. Taught me everything. And he knows, like,
Well, he was about 9 years old when he came down with his dad.
Yeah.
Just a little skinny sing with a good teeth.
Right?
And a lot of people just look at the size.
Yeah.
And they think, no, he's nothing.
Yeah.
But I saw him kick the ball, pass the ball.
Yeah.
He wasn't strong,
but
I saw something in him. You know, his posture was really good.
Right.
I knew that when he gets older, 16, 17, he's going to be good if he looks after himself. And you know what? He showed me.
Tell us a bit about yourself, Joginder. Tusi kinne chir to jude hain with this sport and kinne chir to tusi coaching kar rahe hain?
All right. When my eldest son got injured,
Huh.
he was probably one of the best players I've seen in the whole of UK.
Wow.
Honestly. And when he got injured, I was really depressed.
Right.
And I thought, you know what? I need to do something.
Right.
If it can't be my son, I'll try and work on other kids.
Somebody else's, right?
And even my middle son, he got better when he was about 20 years old.
Right.
When I saw the change in him from 10 years old to 21, he was amazing.
Wow.
I saw 3 tournaments. I couldn't believe the change in him.
Wow.
I think our Indian culture, right, they develop later.
Right.
You know, and this is what we're trying to tell the coaches, the professional coaches.
Yeah,
our kids develop when they're about 17, 18.
Right.
But they don't want to do that.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
They want ready-made players from 6 years old. They want to see talent from that age.
Yeah.
All right? And if they see a fast player, they think, yeah, we can work on this kid.
Yeah, Joe, 6 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ, what can you see in that? I mean, all 6 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ run all over the place and jumping, and you know, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਦੇਖ ਲੈਣਾ? Now, are you trying to tell me that ਤੁਸੀਂ 6 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੱਲ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ whether he's going to be a footballing star or not?
I've been doing football for 20 years.
Right.
And I saw players playing for Chelsea, Tottenham, West Ham at 10 years old.
Right.
But when they come to 16, 17, they're released.
Okay.
Because that's all they know. It's football.
Right.
Right. They've been taught that you want to be a professional footballer. Their parents have been told he's going to be a professional footballer.
Yeah.
So in their mind, that's all they got.
Right.
But they forgot about the studies. What are they going to do if they don't make it?
Yeah.
Right. And this is why a lot of people fall out and they're not very good careers, and you know. But we're trying to teach all the kids you can study. And you can play. It doesn't have to be football, it could be any sport.
Right.
But we encourage football. My sons, they got degrees, they're playing football, really good footballers at Indian Gymkhana. Harman can tell you what they're like. And but I can't change a lot of things.
Right.
It's the mentality at the higher level. They're just sticking to what they want to stick to.
What sort of opportunities and support is there for agents who want to enter sport? Are there sort of places where, do we just go through the normal channels, or do we go to our own clubs first and see whether there's support out there? I mean, you know, what sort of contact and communication do the Asian community have with, say, like the Tottenhams and the Arsenals and stuff like that, and the Liverpools? I mean, is there a chance for players to develop further, or do we just look at like, you know, Asian players just can't cut it?
What it is, the way I believe things, they got the grassroots right, but they haven't got the development right.
Right.
Right. They're working the other way around.
Right.
They're looking for big size players. They're looking for size.
Right.
Right. Where I'm looking at technique.
Right. Skill.
So people like Harman. I had other players, as you can tell you. We had a lot of good technical players.
Right.
But we knew that when they get older, they're going to be very good, and they'll get stronger. Right. But the thing is, they don't look for that. They want quick fix. At 16 years old, they want a professional player straight away. But it doesn't work like that, you know.
Harman, how did you develop? So, I mean, when you were, say, about 9, 10, did you think, yeah, man, I want to try it for one of the big teams, and I want to go down this route like everyone else?
For me, at a young age, like even Uncle Joe can tell you that I wasn't the best, but I just enjoyed football at a young age.
Right.
And slowly I started progressing. So I was at Gymkhana for 6 years.
Yeah.
And then I had a spell at BA, which it was really fun there. They have very good facilities.
Yeah.
And then my 11-a-side kind of broke down there. I stopped playing 11-a-side.
Right.
And that was when in high school I started playing a lot of 5-a-side football, like cage football. And that's when my PE teacher then referred me to my Brentford manager, which is Louis. And that's how I actually learnt the sport futsal. Like when I first heard it, I was like, what's futsal?
Yeah. Didn't you think, you know, I'm being downgraded, man, into futsal, and I really want to play like the 11-a-side football?
For me, no, because it was a much harder game to play.
Right.
It's way harder than 11-a-side. And that's because the technical aspect of it, the tactical aspect of it, the fitness, you have to have, like my manager used to say, 3 lungs to play this sport.
Right.
Because that's how much running you have to do in short period of time.
Kinney level of fitness is JD? How fit do you need to be? I mean, describe your day of what you eat and what you do and how you train.
So I eat 4 good meals a day.
Right.
I'll have
what do you eat? When you
wake up in the morning, I'll have a carbs meal of oats. I'll have oats, protein shakes,
Protein shakes.
And
so you don't have sausages, eggs, and all that, no, beans and all that. No?
None of that. And my diet doesn't change. Every day is the same.
Like toast bread, no protein, nothing, no?
Nothing.
All right, okay, so you have that in the morning.
Yeah.
Then what do you do?
Go gym.
Okay, so what do you do at the gym? Exercise and
I do HIIT training, cardio for 45 minutes, stretching for 20 minutes, and then whatever muscular component I have to do, like it could be hamstrings, quads, biceps, triceps, anything.
Okay, and then after that, what do you do?
Come home, rest. Mum will have already made my food, so I'll have chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Watch some TV, watch some football.
But how's your chicken and rice? It's not like what we have at weddings and all that, right? Chicken curry and rice.
Cooked chicken, rice.
Just plain, yeah?
Just rice is just plain, and I only have 8 ounces of chicken and 4 ounces of rice. I weigh, my mom
you
weighs
okay?
my
How long you know what your food is?
my calories have to be absolute, and then I'll go gym for the second time.
And then you go gym again?
Yep, and then I'll do heavy lifting weights.
Right, and then what do you have like after that to eat?
And then I have chicken and whatever, like I could have sweet potato or anything like rice.
So
any
basically
sort of
your
carb.
food is porridge and chicken and rice
Yeah,
in a
basically,
day?
yeah.
And how long do you eat that for?
6 days a week until my cheat day at the end of the week.
What do you eat on a cheat day?
It could be anything. It could be, sometimes I just eat mum's roti because you have to have roti as an Indian, or it could be pizza or whatever I've been craving.
So you like on a daily basis, you don't eat crisps, chocolates, sweets, nothing like that? No?
It's hard to...
Pasta, pizza, nothing like that?
No, because I have a passion for this. I have to have results on the court. And so this is what I do. This is why this how I live.
How do you condition yourself to that? Because all teenagers are just doing exactly that, eating pizza, Coke, and all the junk food and stuff like that.
I would say...
So you probably never got a McDonald's or KFC or something like this, right? None of that?
Yeah, I would say it's hard at the start because, again, like you say, like I remember when I was at Brentford, my first month, I was just McDonald's, KFC, McDonald's, KFC. But once you start structuring and you have goals and you want to reach your goals, you do anything for it.
Wow, so it really requires commitment.
Commitment, yeah. If you want to be playing for England's under-19s futsal or even football or anything, you've got to be committed. You've got to have a passion for it. You've got to love it. You've got to be dedicated.
I feel sorry for your mum. Chicken rolls and playing chore. I mean, it's all right, fair enough. It's an easy thing to make.
It's probably easier for them.
Yeah, probably it's probably easier for her.
It's actually quite hard to make chicken every day.
So does she prepare it all in boxes and in meals?
I have containers.
Like
Yeah.
Oh my God, man! This is like. ऐसी नहीं होना fit. ऐसी ठीक ही as we are. ऐसी ठीक ही as we are. Joe, is this normal? Is that sort of normal? This sort of diet for athletes?
My boys are like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, they like to eat, but just like what Harman's doing.
Or nothing.
Yeah, I eat chicken.
Yeah.
Eat shakes and chicken. But mind you, when I see them, they're a lot fitter. What we used to be.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's good to see kids looking after their bodies, after themselves, because when they get older, they'll have a good, healthy life. So it is good, and this is what we're trying to teach kids. Eat properly, eat well, eat healthy, and keep yourself fit. Yeah. Just like what Harman says, he's worked hard, and hard work pays.
Yeah.
See, like for me, I feel like in high school, the one thing I never was taught about was nutrition.
Right.
I learned that when I went to Brentford and I was playing a high level of futsal.
Yeah.
That's when our coaches were like, do you ever think what you're putting in your mouth or what you're drinking? And like that's where like you start reading what Red Bull has in and what Coke has in it. And then like it just opens your eyes like, whoa, I shouldn't be taking this stuff.
I mean, Brentford is pretty much our local club.
Our
right?
local club,
so it's our local club, especially if we live in the South or Hayes area, It's our local professional club. Right? Which, so for them to pick someone up, it's quite a big achievement, right?
Yeah, I did see one of their coaches.
Yeah.
I met him at the Brentford match when he picked up his awards.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me and he was telling me, he says, them days are gone where they're looking for big, solid players. They're looking for quality now. So just like Harman.
So it's changing now.
It is changing, but you know what? It's good to see that, and I thought, you know what? That's good.
Is that why you think Asian kids weren't selected because they just didn't have the frame?
It's the push. He's got the push.
Right.
I mean, my boy's got it. He keep pestering me all the time. My little one, he says, I want to play professional football, and I said, look, work hard. Eat well and study as well. And I said, all in good time, hard work will pay. Keep trying.
Now, honestly, Tonal Dekalna give futsal and what it's all about, because I hadn't heard about it until I researched it on the internet, and this is what I found. So have a look at this.
Keep in touch with friends and family across Europe with Leica Mobile's new EU Plus bundle for only £35. EU Plus bundle gives you unlimited calls to the UK and Europe, 3 gigabytes of data and unlimited text to the UK. And the best news is your minutes, data and texts are valid when you travel to Leica Mobile countries. To buy this bundle, text 535 to 3535. Order your free SIM at leicamobile.co.uk today. Terms and conditions apply.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Namaste. I love India.
So, travel a lot?
No, just on business.
You love India without experiencing it.
But I have experienced it right here on Air India. I always fly Air India.
Me too.
Now fly anywhere to anywhere. Earn and redeem miles via 27 Star Alliance partners. Air India, proud to be Indian, proud to be global.
राजनीति धार्मिक, आर्थिक, सामाजिक या कभी कभी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय। राजनीति के गलियारों में अलग अलग नुक्कड़ों पर व्यक्तियों के बीच, धार्मिक संस्थाओं के बीच, कभी कभी राष्ट्रों के बीच या कभी कभी व्यक्तिगत एक राजनीति लगातार चलती रहती है। और यही राजनीति हम लेके आ रहे हैं हर बुधवार शाम 7 बजे आपके एमए टीवी पर। देखना मत भूलिए राजनीति।
Already got your free Brian toy? Now you can collect the all-new Miss Herbert or Stunned Herbert when you buy car or home insurance through Confused.com.
Pure Heaven. Non-alcoholic celebration drinks. All the fun without the alcohol. Pure Heaven. Make every moment a sparkling moment.
Now available at selected Tesco stores and Amazon.
वसीयतनामा और ट्रस्ट बनाने के साथ ही आप अपने परिवार और जायदाद की हिफाजत हमेशा के लिए कर सकते हैं। एबेकस विल्स एंड ट्रस्ट माहिर हैं। विल्स और ट्रस्ट लिखने में, इनहेरिटेंस टैक्स प्लानिंग और पावर ऑफ अटर्नी बनाने में। हमारी लीगल टीम आपकी कागजी कार्रवाई आपके हालात और जरूरत के मुताबिक बनाते हैं। आप ही की मदद करने के लिए हैं यहाँ on 0845 025 000।
Saran, Sat Sri Akal, welcome to the show. You've just seen there Harjap play futsal, and that's what futsal's about. It seems very intense.
Yeah, it is very intense.
And we're talking like you need a high rate of fitness, right?
Yeah, very high rate of fitness. Like for me, I started losing a lot of body fat when I just started playing that sport because it gets your heart rate so high and then you're back down again and then high again and then back down again. So you're never it's not stable running.
How do you maintain this fitness then? Do you do you feel bad when you don't go to the gym one day?
Oh, the guilt I'll get upset. Like I go to Dad and I say, I've put on 0.2 this much fat, and Dad will be like,
give a few slaps.
Dad is always like, "Pani de naalo te thalle ho janda" and stuff like that. But
you take it that seriously.
Yeah.
Like you analyze what you eat in calories and carbs and stuff like this. And
but the thing is,
micros and macros.
I'd never had a personal trainer. I've never had a nutritionist to tell me this is what you gotta eat. I've just from YouTube, I've learned everything by myself, putting the hours in.
And how long does that take? How long has that taken you to learn everything yourself?
It took me a year to know how my body was and how I should be treating it. And even again, I can't say that because I'm still learning. Like tomorrow I might learn something new, and I'm always learning, and I've always wanted to learn.
Joe, how do you explain this to Asian parents? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਮਝਾਓਗੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਬਸ ਚੌਲ ਹੀ ਤੇ ਚਿਕਨ ਖਾਂਦਾ ਸਾਰੀ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ ਤੇ ਦਲੀਆ ਖਾਂਦਾ they're going to go to ਸਾਰਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਮਾਰਨਾ I mean you know what you're trying to kill us.
When I first took team under 9s, one of the Gori, she was feeding her son crisps at the tournament. I said, no, don't feed him the crisps and a can of Coke. I said, don't give him Coke. And she said, well, you're going to kill our kids. I said, no. I said, give them water, have a sandwich, right? But you know what? It's really hard
to change the diet and the mindset, right?
Because on the football pitch, you need simple food. You don't need Coke or anything like that. I mean, nowadays, we didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't.
So there's a beer in there.
Listen, like we're talking about eggs on ande di gal karte. Right? Now, I've recently started eating egg whites. And egg white chitta ande da and we take the yellow out and throw it away. When I did that a few times, my mum looked at me as if like I'd committed a crime. Like so everyone's looking at me like सारे इंडियन देख रहे हैं कहते कि सारे अपने बंदे के तू पीला खा ली सेट तो सैंक एक चिट्टे च तो कुछ पीले च तो सारा कुछ होता है and I'm thinking no because internet पे लिखा कि पीले is cholesterol and that's what kills you the yolks right now. And the egg white is with the yarn in it and they're like no that's just the water that's the real egg is like it's in the yellow bit so I mean it seems as if everything is up and then right so drink lots of milk drink lots of milk, which is actually, a lot of dairy is not good for you, right?
Yeah.
Drink dodh, paneer, atta, everything we have in our diet is bad for you.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, you're not, like, technically you're not supposed to eat it. So then, how do you change that mindset? Surely you have to then educate, like, you know,
It's about educate that. It is about educate. I mean, I was in Wolverhampton, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I went to the Gurdwara and there's pizzas and
chips
and I thought, you know what, I'm getting these kids to training. How am I going to get fit?
Yeah.
How am I going to get them fit? Because they're eating this kind of food. And it's really difficult. Parents have to do this for the kids.
Right.
Feed them the right stuff. Get them training, do a bit more running and, you know.
See again, but all things that Indians eat aren't wrong necessarily. Like we all eat badam; those are great
Really
foods.
good.
I eat badam every single day. Like it's not that just all Indian foods are bad.
Do you drink Coke?
I don't drink Coke. No.
How long has it been since you had a Coke?
A year and a half. Because when I have a cheat day, I drink Pepsi Max, so I don't drink Coke. That has 0 sugar in it. Like things like that. Sugar I have to stay away from.
No way, man.
And but the thing is, it's again, you can't just say let's get rid of the Indian culture and let's just eat pizza and chips, because no, it's not. You have to know what type of nutrition you're putting into your body, because at the end of the day, you're fueling your body.
Right.
So the stuff you put in is the result you're going to get out.
So when you eat food, you just eat like a petrol for your body.
I honestly do.
So
No.
You don't eat it for the taste. Because nothing you eat tastes good.
Yeah.
We do that.
Me and Joe said, lamb curry.
We do that.
We'll have some chicken tikka, lamb curry, lamb chops, you know, like proper gear. Like paneer must be a big no-no for you, right?
So, no, but again, like for 6 days, I am very strict. But my 7th day, I'll eat anything. Like, I'll have mum's roti, or I'll have paneer, or I'll have maybe doner kebab or pizza or something. But it's controlling how much you eat and when you eat, and like you said, fueling my body. That's exactly how I see it. Like there was a day I didn't go gym, and I thought I don't really need to eat today, so I didn't eat for about 13 hours because I didn't need the fuel to do an exercise.
Does your body get used to it?
Yeah, your body does get used to it. The
must be a shock
week
to
or
the
two,
system, right?
first week or two was very, very hard, and I went too extreme as well, and that's why I started fainting and stuff like that. Mum and dad started getting worried. But it's about finding the right balance and knowing how your body works and how much you can push it to the limit.
How much, you're talking about your mum and dad, how much have they supported you in your decision to play futsal?
Oh, so much. Because from day one, mum and dad knew I loved sports.
Right.
I would always in the garden kick the football 2 hours. And that's when they started looking for clubs. And then it started slowly building and building. And dad was like, look, if you really enjoy it, go for it. Make the push. And that's when I went for Brentford, and then we got into England, and everyone in my family, like even my family have given the push, like everyone supported, all my chachi, all my cousins, and everyone, they've all given the push. And it's like everyone supported, and they've all known that I love this side of the aspect. Like the gym side came from my brother-in-law. When my sister got married, they started teaching me about you need a gym, that's how you'll get better on the pitch and stuff like that. And that side of it, yes.
Now, what's the highest level you've reached so far?
England's under 19.
So you've played for England?
I've represented them in a region. So we're the South region, we played the North region.
Okay.
And I would say that's the furthest I've gone. And I'm hoping to push for an England cap.
In this sport, futsal,
yeah.
Is there like a proper league and a Champions League and a World Cup and a European Championship and all this?
There is a league. Like I play for Chiswick Futsal Club at the moment, and we have an FA Cup game on the April the 29th, I think it is. And like it's an FA Cup, like the 11-a-side FA Cup. It's exactly the same. And there's leagues. There's leagues here. There's Division 1 league, Division 2 league. Chiswick are moving up to Division 1.
Is that like your Premiership? What's the Premiership of futsal?
It's Super League, which is opening first time from next season, which is the Super League. Okay. And but again, like I say, in Brazil and Portugal, futsal is a way bigger difference than England. it's still a growing sport here, where it's an established sport. That is, everyone knows what it is there.
So is that why Portuguese and Brazilian players are so skillful? Do you think futsal contributes to that?
Yes,
yeah?
because I and my manager also says is that anything you learn 11 aside, you can't bring into futsal. But anything you learn in futsal, you can transfer into 11 aside. Like all your Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Ronaldo, they've all played futsal at a young age.
They all played futsal?
All played futsal at a young age.
And that's where they learn their tricks from and stuff like
and
that.
that's where they learn all their tricks from. And that's why they have more technical, gifted players rather than the more muscular, bulked players.
Yeah, because if you look at Messi, he's not a great Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, okay, Ronaldo is very fit and there's no fat on him, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, and, but yeah, they're little skillful players. They're not really that big. People like Aguero.
Exactly.
I know, they're not greatly big.
But it just shows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, little players,
Yeah.
you know, can play.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about size, it's what you got.
Right.
You know.
And what sort of money is there in futsal? Is there big money, or is it compared to, like, have you got superstars being paid 50 grand a week or like £100,000 a week or not?
In futsal, the money is way less in football.
Right.
But I will say you can make a living of futsal if you played in the Brazilian league and the Portuguese league.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, the level is so massive. Like a player in the England squad now probably couldn't even make one of the worst teams in Portugal because the difference is that big.
Right.
And again, this sport also is international bigger. So like the World Cup in futsal, there's so many people that stop their feet just to watch.
Right.
Because it is massive there, and like all the Brazilian players are making a fortune of futsal.
Wow.
And even like the Portuguese players and stuff, and yeah, like you can make a living off it, but you aren't going to be on 30-40 grand a week like football.
And is there an age limit, like between footballers, usually between 18 and 35? You know, if you're a goalkeeper, you can maybe stretch it to 40. I mean, so how old are the players? Are they young players, or are they old players, or are they same as footballers?
In futsal, it's different. In futsal, you can play it at a young age, but the problem is when it comes to high-level futsal, you're usually 23 and 24, which is very late, so if you think of it in football terms.
That's when you peak, right?
That's in your peak. In futsal, you make an appearance when you're 23 or 24 because the sport is more of a mature game, tactical-based game, which you need to know how to slow the game down, maybe pick the speed up. And where in football, usually you get your players like Rashford, who's 18, that come in at 18, where in futsal, that will rarely ever happen. You will usually come in between 23, 24, and you have like Falcao, who's the best in futsal. He's still around. I think he's 36.
Wow.
So yeah, you have your players that can stay around.
Right. So when we look at football, why have Asians not really made it into the Premier League? Why don't we hear about a lot of Asian players?
For me, as an individual, giving my opinion will be that if a parent wants their kids to make it, they can't give that push if the kid doesn't want to do it. If the kid doesn't have the passion, then you can't force him to do that. But if the kid does have the passion and you take that away from him, then they just end up doing nothing. Like for my mum and dad, my passion was football or futsal, and they just went along with it. Every instinct, they said, okay, that's fine. Whatever you enjoy, do. And for that reason, if you love something, you do things as extreme as I say, like my diet, because you enjoy it. You need that guilt or reward factor. And I feel like in our community, when there's a kid that has something, a passion towards, sometimes we just tell him, just take the safe route.
Do you think we bank it safe?
Yeah.
And we want to become doctors and lawyers and teachers? Yeah. And is that understandable as a parent, Joe? I mean, isn't it better to tell your kid, look, to padla, apni safety banala, rather than sports ki rakhe, hami sat lag you and then...
That's, in our days, that's what used to happen.
Yeah, that's what used
my
to
dad
happen.
used to say, nahi, engineer ban, doctor banna, but I was a very, very good footballer. But push nahi si.
No.
But these days, there is some push.
Yeah.
But still, we have to educate parents, you know, that the first point is, when it's cold or raining, as in
yeah, that's it, yeah.
End of. Bukhar all these. When you see gore kale, send them in everything.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why they get stronger.
Right.
You know, and that's why these professional clubs won't take our kids because they won't turn up for these sort of weathers.
Yeah.
And
you've got an image of being maybe mollycoddled and
Honey?
They've got an image of maybe being mollycoddled or too much mummy's daddy's kids.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to show a clip now of the best futsal players in the world. So have a look at this, and these are the guys at the top level.
Keep in touch with friends and family across Europe with Leica Mobile's new EU Plus bundle for only £35. EU Plus bundle gives you unlimited calls to the UK and Europe, 3 gigabytes of data and unlimited text to the UK. And the best news is your minutes, data and texts are valid when you travel to Leica Mobile countries. To buy this bundle, text 535 to 3535. Order your free SIM at leicamobile.co.uk today. Terms and conditions apply.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Namaste. I love India.
So, travel a lot?
No, just on business.
You love India without experiencing it.
But I have experienced it right here on Air India. I always fly Air India.
Me too.
Now fly anywhere to anywhere. Earn and redeem miles via 27 Star Alliance partners. Air India. Proud to be Indian. Proud to be global.
Okay, to make you understand, I've changed my voice to talk to you in an adult fashion. Because to you, I'm just a child. So hear me out, seriously. As you can see, I'm pretty healthy. Unlike some other children in my country, who have to depend on people like you. So let me get to the point. I may not be able to spell malnutrition, but I know what it means. And I know it's not good. It only takes 10 pounds to feed one child for 1 whole year. Did you know that? Obviously not. Food for thought.
राजनीति धार्मिक, आर्थिक, सामाजिक या कभी कभी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय। राजनीति के गलियारों में अलग अलग नुक्कड़ों पर व्यक्तियों के बीच, धार्मिक संस्थाओं के बीच, कभी कभी राष्ट्रों के बीच या कभी कभी व्यक्तिगत एक राजनीति लगातार चलती रहती है। और यही राजनीति हम लेके आ रहे हैं हर बुधवार शाम 7 बजे आपके एमए टीवी पर। देखना मत भूलिए राजनीति।
वसीयतनामा और ट्रस्ट बनाने के साथ ही आप अपने परिवार और जायदाद की हिफाजत हमेशा के लिए कर सकते हैं। एबेकस विल्स एंड ट्रस्ट माहिर हैं। विल्स और ट्रस्ट लिखने में, इनहेरिटेंस टैक्स प्लानिंग और पावर ऑफ अटर्नी बनाने में। हमारी लीगल टीम आपकी कागजी कार्रवाई आपके हालात और जरूरत के मुताबिक बनाते हैं। आप ही की मदद करने के लिए हैं यहाँ on 0845 025 000।
Salam, Sat Sri Akal, welcome back to the show. Just before the break, you saw some outstanding players. They're the top guys, man.
Yeah.
So they're like the futsal equivalent of like the Beckhams and
Ricardinho and Falcao by far.
These are household names, yeah?
Yeah. If you are someone who watches futsal, they will be able to name them too because they're your Messi and Ronaldo.
Right. Okay. And to get to that level, how many years of training does that take? Or is it possible for someone from the UK to get to that sort of level? Or would you have to train out there to do that?
You can make that here, but the only problem is you have to dedicate yourself to futsal. Like, for example, Falcao has never played 11-a-side.
Never at all?
Never. He is the best futsal player, and he doesn't play 11-a-side. Like, people say he could have played for Barcelona and stuff, but he's just futsal, that's it.
Why don't these people play 11-a-side? If they're that good, right? So for all killed, they can 11-a-side because there's more money to be made in 11-a-side, right?
Because for them, it's enjoyment of playing that technical sport. Like, that's why it's so big in Brazil and Portugal. It's a cheaper sport to play, so it's easier to play, and for them it's a technical, so it's better who's better on the ball, who can nutmeg who can score a better goal, who can come up with really good rotation, and it's more tactics to it. And plus 11-a-side, in a 90-minute game you'll touch the ball 15 times. In futsal you touch it about 120 times. Wow. So you would want to touch the ball a lot more often rather than running for 90 minutes and getting 10 touches of the ball.
Oh wow. Surely this would be like jidda cricket vich hunda. You start off playing on a little level, and then maybe you'll be 20-20, and then one day, and then you get to the test match. Is this what this is a progression, or is this a sport in its own right where you think, you know what, if once you play futsal, you're going to end up in futsal?
You
A lot of people use this to try and get onto 11-a-side.
A lot of people do use it to get on to 11-a-side. So if you choose this sport at a young age, you can pick that option of, do I want to do 11-a-side or do I want to stick to futsal? But if you get later on, like I got quite later on in futsal, even though I enjoy futsal a lot more, it is a sport in its own respect. Like for me, the biggest achievement that my goal is, and that I would be proud of, would be getting an England cap. If I can get an England cap in futsal, that would be outstanding, and that's my goal. And progressing on from there, I can do, like I've got a trial in the Premier Futsal in India. And
are they starting this in India now?
They're starting this in India, so
really?
it's growing massively, and it's not coming down.
I know they've got a soccer league in India, right? So where Anelka's played there. You know, some big names have played in the soccer league, but I didn't know they had a futsal league.
In the futsal league, you actually have Beckham, Giggs, Scholes, and Ronaldinho playing there. And
Indian futsal league.
Yeah, and so it's not like
it's quite big. Then they put a lot of money into it, and they put some superstars.
Yeah, because they want people to know what futsal is, because it's a very high intensity, very enjoyable game to watch.
Yeah.
And it's growing.
Why can't India has got such a big population, right? So why can't India produce any top footballers or any top? Is it because of lack of investment or lack of interest, or are they only concerned about hockey and cricket?
I'll say it's because anyone in football isn't as dedicated. Like all those movies you mentioned, like the Dhonis and all of them that have made it.
Yeah.
If you watch their storyline, they're just as dedicated as me.
In a different sport.
In a different sport.
Yeah.
So it's not like just because he's Indian, he can make it in cricket just by eating parota. No, like he's just been dedicated.
Yeah.
And you've got to do the same thing. And it's just, in football, we tend to not really give that dedication to the fitness side of it. Especially as Indians.
No.
And so that's a cultural change that we need to make and educate as well. Like I'm hoping to become an ambassador of the sport and maybe have other Asians come through in futsal, because to give the education on will be much better, so they can learn from my mistakes and maybe not make the same mistakes.
Joe, how many players have you coached? I think any players coaching. Are we in thousands? Or are we talking?
I think it's been loads.
Yeah,
hell of a lot. I even had one playing for me in the tournaments. Used to come from Leeds, and I told him, you know, you got to play this way, my way. Yeah. And now he's at Barnsley. He's got a 2-year scholarship.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's done very well. And you know what? Just like him, hard work. Right. And he does it himself. Okay. But his dad does do a lot for him, just like his dad.
So, did it on अपने Asian tournaments on? Did it happen on a Sunday in the summer, right?
Saturday, yeah.
And is it the Khalsa
Federation?
Khalsa Federation, right? So Khalsa Football Federation. Yeah. They run the tournaments.
They're doing a great job. Yeah.
So, and it's like teams, Gurdwara teams, but essentially, and or towns like Smethwick Rangers are quite, and G&G from Gravesend, So, there's some big teams about.
Oh yeah.
Is that the best way then, really, to get our kids interested in? Is that the best way to blood our kids and to see who's the best out there?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. All these years I've been doing coaching, watching football. Yeah. I like watching teams in Khalsa Football Federation. Right. They are some very good players. Right. You know, and I'm surprised that a lot of them aren't playing in the professional leagues. Yeah. You know,
is that because they don't get scouted? They don't get bigger? Maybe our network's not as strong.
No, network's strong.
Haven't we got the sponsors to push these guys?
It is about money as well, and I don't think the professional clubs are really looking in that direction.
They're not bothered, right?
They're not. To me, I don't think they are.
Right.
They're not looking at the talent. They're still looking for players who can run. Right. You know, it's. You might as well ask them to be athletics.
Right. So you're athletes.
Football is art. Yeah. You know, you should have two good feet and a brain. But these days they're looking for fast players, big players. They're not looking for technique. And
another thing from my point of view is that us as Indians can't really take negative things. Like, for example, I've been to a Fulham trial, a Chelsea trial, a Norwich trial, and I've been rejected by all of them.
Wow.
And for me, that didn't give me up. Like, I do see
You didn't
some...
You didn't think, right, I'm never going to make it.
I'm never going to make it, and that's it. That I've even QPR, I've done everything, any football club around our base. And the thing is, some of our approach as a culture is that if you can't make it the first time, just give up. Right. But for me, I just didn't give up. And I know I even know my friends that had the talent to make it, but they just, after the first time, oh, Norwich said no to me, I'm going to give up now. There's no point. And for me, hard work always beats talent if talent doesn't work hard.
I mean, when we had the team for the under 9s, under 10s, right, I just taught them play simple football. On the ground, move around, use the whole pitch, right? And when we used to play teams, they used to get confused. What the hell's going on here? Because we are playing from the back. We used the whole pitch. They had to go to the corner flag to get a ball from the goalkeeper. I said, you got a whole pitch? Use it. But whereas other teams, they get the goalkeeper, kick the ball, let someone chase it. It's not football. And when we used to play our way, I think we won nearly every tournament. But the other team didn't know what was going on. But then some teams started to pick up on it, and they think, hang on, how are they doing it? And they started copying, and it was good to see that.
So Harman, if there's kids out there now and they think, you know what, I really want to get into futsal and I really want to learn this, or there might be parents out there thinking, you know what, my kid's quite a good footballer, but to teach them the technical side of things, maybe it's good to put into futsal. Who do they go to? Where do they go? What do they do? How does a kid tell his parents? I mean, what do the parents do? Where do they take their child to learn this game?
For me, you're not going to start in an academy.
Right.
So I'll say any grassroots club near your area will be your best bet.
Right.
Because you still need to learn how a match pace game is, because you might not have experienced that, even if you've done one-to-one play. And the main thing is that you've got to be hardworking. You've got to want it. You've got to have the passion, the drive. And if you find a grassroots club, I'm sure, because coaches now are well known and they know each other. So if you are good enough, they will try and push you on further and further. Like me, I started at Gymkhana, which is again a grassroots club near our area. Then I pushed on because the coaches referred me to more and more.
Did you get the support at Gymkhana that you needed?
Big time. The first day I came, I couldn't kick a ball. So I couldn't kick it with good technique. So this man taught me everything and got me to know the right people to get me into the right places.
And the Gymkhana does do a lot of stuff for sports in our community, right?
They've been around 100 years.
So what's our logo, Gymkhana?
100 years. They just celebrated 100 years now.
Wow.
And they got girls hockey, men's hockey, boys hockey, cricket for boys and adults. We got great football teams at senior level, children's level, and the girls' football team.
Your girls'
and they're a very
football
good football team as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we encourage everyone to play the right way.
Yeah. And do you see a lot of parents coming with their kids?
They are coming.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Yeah.
I mean, they started with 8 kids now, and they got, 150 kids now in football. That's just in 1.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot of progress. And what's the best thing you think sports gives a kid like Harman? What attributes does it give?
I very much into discipline.
Right.
Treat your parents with respect.
Does it
treat
teach
your
you respect?
teachers.
Yeah, by far. Like the things that Uncle Joe taught me at a very young age, like 9 or 10, I had to use in work environment, because like teamwork, being a leader, having respect for others, whether winning or losing, all of that stuff, this is life lessons. It's not just a game.
Winning and losing for me is playing football the right way. You can lose, but if you played good football and the other team says, oh yeah, the best team lost, hey, I'm happy with that. It's not about winning trophies, it's not about winning cups or anything. It's about playing the right way.
Because it seems very disciplined.
This is why.
Well,
I have told him quite a few times.
Like in your diet, you seem very disciplined. I mean, I know everyone I go out to the gym with probably not as disciplined as you. I mean, so I mean, it seems like at a very young age, you've learned all the things that you needed to go through life.
See, it's easier for me because like when my cousins get together and we go to like my sister's, she'll make me like pasta just so because Harman's coming, but if I even get tempted, they're like, oh, let me try and sneak a donut, and they'll all tell me off because they know, because I'll feel guilty an hour later, like, oh man, I ate a donut.
You won't believe this. At in Gymkhana, boys and girls play together.
Yeah, wow.
I've told them all, we're going to treat you the same as the boys.
Wow.
And they said they're happy with that. And now they compete with boys because that's what they want. They want competition.
Right.
And girls can kick the lumps out of the boys.
I'll have to come and watch that. I mean, it's been great chatting to you, and it's been great learning about this sort of stuff, and it's been great to know, that grassroots clubs are out there and they are helping our community, and slowly Asians are getting around to the concept of sports are good, and I think ultimately, I want to go into sports. It's not a bad thing. बिल्कुल उत्थे ओदी ख्वाहिश नहीं दब देनी चाहिदी है क्योंकि स्पोर्ट्स विच बहुत कुछ मिलता है discipline, right? So you learn to respect, you learn teamwork, and age your skills there. You need them in life. You do. And the sooner you learn them, the better you can go through life. So I think I wish I'd had that discipline 20 years ago. I wish I'd got it now, but it's something that isn't instilled in me. I could change it, but then I'm going to think, no way, man, I ain't eating no chicken or rice out of a box. I'd rather die 5 years early. But I just wish that someone had told me or pushed me that sort of way, or the atmosphere had been like that, because it wasn't. It wasn't like that. And I think this generation is quite lucky. I think that in that respect.
All over the country, I think there's a lot of volunteers who are doing a lot of good things. It's not just here. Yeah. I've seen them in Leicester, seen them in Wolverhampton, seen them in Birmingham. Yeah. You see a lot of Asian volunteers helping kids out, which is good to see. Yeah. And that's what we want to see in the future.
Do you reckon it's a bit of, because we weren't allowed to do it, we want our kids to do it? Yeah? Do you reckon it's a bit of that? Yeah. It's a bit of living our dreams through them?
Exactly. Yeah. It is.
That's what it is, isn't it? That's why, I've got friends who put their kids into boxing, and they weren't allowed to do it themselves, So cricket, they weren't allowed to do it themselves. It's because maybe perhaps that dream in us was crushed, and so we want our kids...
We want to give to someone else.
Yeah, we want the kids to live the dream. Well, Joe, Harman, thank you very much for coming on and to support us, and wish you good luck, and thanks for educating us as well as futsal is, and we hope you do play for England one day. And we hope we see you in the World Cup or something, and you'll be famous, and then great, and other kids are encouraged to. When someone has a role model, then everyone wants to think.
Well, it's his turn now to be the role model.
And then coach other kids, young kids. I think that'll be good stuff. So कई बार इदा होंगे कि साढ़े दिल दी ख्वाहिशां रह नहीं होंदियां क्योंकि कुछ मजबूरियां करके तो असीं चाहुंदे कि साढ़े वो ख्वाहिशां साढ़े बच्चे जीन. Sports is one of them areas that we wish that to do, and if a child wants to go into sports, then we should encourage them. It's not a bad thing. There could be a lot worse things they could be doing on the streets, drugs, alcohol. जे तुहाडा बच्चा कहंदा कि स्पोर्ट्स करना खुशकिस्मती है क्योंकि इन्ने भैड़े दुनिया दे विच कर सकदा है, so it's a good thing to do. I thank Joe and Harman for coming down again. You can look them up, look their details up. They're on Twitter, Gymkhana's on internet and Facebook and everywhere. And look up futsal and get your kids interested. And hopefully they can be like Messi and Ronaldo one day. That's Messi, not Mussy. Don't end up like Mussy, don't end up like Messi. Anjali, hello, Bossy. The Sunday will Sat Sri Akal.